5-minute.
This is your 5-minute call with Cessalee Stovall.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is your 5-minute call with Cessalee Stovall. Now, today we have on the line Nic Rouleau, and I know you guys are all so excited. So let's jump right in. His top 5 are as follows. Number 1, it has just been announced that Nic Rouleau is headed to London to play Elder Price in the London version of the Book of Mormon. See, it's there. Number 2, Nic Rouleau has been playing Elder Price for almost 3 years now. He started as a standby on Broadway and then moved up to the role. He was on the first national tour for the first year of the road and then went back to Broadway to play it there. Number 3, in addition to doing Book of Mormon for quite a long time, he also has some experience on other national tours. He did the national tour of Legally Blonde, and he worked on Disney Cruise Line for a while where he was friends with Woody, if you know what I mean. Number 4, he's originally from Los Altos, California, and he went to NYU's Steinhardt for college. And number 5, he is actually left-handed, although he has to fake as a righty frequently on stage. And something really interesting to know about him, he actually did the Book of Mormon 10 times before he got his equity card. All right, well, without further ado, we welcome Nic Rouleau. How's it going?
Hey, doing great. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you again.
Good to see your face again.
All right, so we'll jump in. Question number 1 for you is tell me a little bit about your journey from high school to college to where you are now.
Sure, yeah. I was really fortunate to grow up in a town where we had a really great children's youth theater. So from age 8 to age 18, I probably did 30 productions at this one youth theater in Mountain View. It's called Peninsula Youth Theater. So that was really kind of like where I found my love for theater and where I really got to grow as a young artist and really kind of find a community, which was really awesome. And so when I was in high school and I was applying to colleges, it was kind of just like something I wanted to do. I was like, I want to major in musical theater. So to appease my parents, I also applied for college half to math majors and half to musical theater majors. And I ended up choosing NYU, and I'm really pleased with that choice. So I went to NYU and I got my Bachelor's of Music degree in musical theater. And so in addition to kind of the rigorous acting and dancing requirements of a musical theater degree, I also had a really strong music background. So we had music theory classes, oral comprehension classes, music history classes, music theater history classes, all sort of keyboard classes, all of that on top of the already rigorous musical theater curriculum. So it was a really great training environment, and I was really happy with that. And so I graduated in 2009, and I went right away working for Disney Cruise Line in Toy Story the Musical for a year, which was very fun. After Toy Story, then I went and I worked on Legally Blonde on the national tour, and I played Emmett, which was really fun, but it was a really great experience. And then I joined Book of Mormon right after that, and sort of the rest is history there.
So tell me, what was the moment for you that you knew this is what I want to do for a career?
It's really tricky because it's something I kind of knew from a young age. It was something that I had done from age 8 on. But I don't think it was until Book of Mormon that it really kind of clicked as this is what is meant to be. I think, you know, from a young age, I dreamed about being on Broadway, and I dreamed about making my Broadway debut. And when I did it at 24, I was kind of like, A, like, this is nothing, I'd never planned to do it this early in my life. And B, I was kind of like, it's a nice validation. This is what I'm supposed to be. Like, I am doing the right thing. All of the hard work up until this moment has finally paid off.
So what is the most memorable moment you've had either on stage or off stage?
It's definitely off stage. And I will say that anybody who knows me knows I have a slight but healthy obsession with Kelli O'Hara. And I've mentioned her in many press interviews, including now this one, so now she thinks I'm crazy. But I did an article for Broadway.com when I first took over for Andrew Rannells. And I wrote about how I loved her in Light in the Piazza, and saw her 8 times, and saw her multiple times in South Pacific. And I actually one day at the theater doing the show checked my phone at intermission, and I had an email, and in the subject line it said, "From Kelli O'Hara." And I started freaking out. I opened it, and it was a lovely email from her a couple days after this interview came out. And she said, "I read your interview. I'm so touched by what you said. Thank you so much for your kind words. I'd love to take you out for a drink." And at the time, she was doing Nice Work If You Can Get It down a couple blocks down the street. And so one night after our shows, we both met up, and we had an awesome drink after the show, and we chatted and talked and got to know each other. And it was really sweet. And it was something that she didn't have to do, but it's so true to who she is as a person. She's just the nicest lady. And I was really touched. So it's definitely a favorite moment I've kind of had in my career so far.
Now, Nic, we have some amazing Twitter followers, and when I posted that you were going to be joining us on 5 Minute Call, we were flooded with questions. But the one I'm going to ask you right now is, what is your favorite Broadway soundtrack to jam out to?
It's definitely The Wedding Singer. And Ben Platt can attest to this. He yells at me all the time. He'll always come into my room at the 5 Minute Call. 5 Minute Call, hey! He'll always come into my room, the 5 Minute Call before the show, and I will always be jamming out to Someday. From The Wedding Singer, I make an awesome Julia Gulia, I'm just going to say.
Well, thank you. I will definitely pass that on to casting. The last question we have for you is, if you could go back in time and give your 16-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
What I like to say to young actors is be the actor that you would want to work with. And I think that means a couple things. I think on a professional side, it means be professional, be prepared in the audition room, be prepared in the rehearsal room, know your lines, know your blocking. Definitely take things seriously and professionally. I think there's also a human element to that advice, which means be a nice person. You know, everybody, when you get to Broadway and the Broadway talent pool, everybody is talented. Everybody has something to offer. What separates people is kind of who they are as a person and how they are in the rehearsal room. And at the end of the day, I've seen it where, like, you know, two people are up for a role. They're both equally talented. One person is a little tough to work with, and one person is really easy to work with. And so from the creative team, they're thinking, who do I want to be stuck in a rehearsal room with for 10, 12, 15 hours a day? You'd rather be stuck in a room with someone who's a little bit easier to get along with. So that's kind of the best advice I can give. Be the kind of actor that you want to work with yourself.
Awesome. Well, that's wonderful advice. And I know that you have a lot of work coming up for you in the next couple of weeks in London. Yeah. So we'll let you get back to your day. But thank you so very much for taking time for the 5 Minute Call.
Of course.
And best of luck over the sea.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Cheerio.